Welcome to another Fountain Pen Day review. Today's review is more about the nib than anything else. Many of you remember my review for the Nakaya Neo Standard, this one, in Heki Turanami. Sorry, Heki Tamanori. And it came with a double broad nib, which was wonderful. I mean, it was smooth, it was bold, beautiful, but it lacked the flair that I kind of am used to and need for my writing. So I sent it back to John Shaw at nibs.com and told him my situation. And he said, no problem, send it back, let's see what we can do. I had asked him about doing an elastic nib, which Lee Reyes had on her site, which is a wonderful blog. I'll put a link to that because it's amazing. And I wanted to get an elastic nib because it's something different. And I also went again with a medium soft nib for him to do this. And one thing I learned after 21 videos is that I can lock the focus, because all these are shot on my iPhone 5, so it's what I have and it seems to do pretty well. So under here is a medium soft elastic nib. There we go. Now we've got it in solid focus, and what he does is actually cuts little wings out right there on either side to give it added flexibility. Now it doesn't give it a vintage flex. It gives it, it's different in flex as far as how much ink it lays down. It will lay down a tremendous amount of ink if you flex it and let it sit. In other words, it almost lets the ink continue to flow. Very interesting nib, and again, a lot of fun to write with. A lot of fun. So again, this is the a medium soft that has been customized to an elastic. Just for FYI, when you buy a new pen, this modification is $80 to do. And sending it back and getting it back into my hands took about 10 days. So there's certainly no complaints about the time that it took to do this. Just trying to give you guys some extra view. Trust me, I'll give you plenty of writing samples. Now, what's going to make this video a lot of fun, and one that I've been looking forward to, is there's two other stars to this show, as I realize that medium soft is something that I like. Here is my pen from last week's review, which is another Neo Standard, but it's a stubbed medium soft that John did. So I can show you the difference between a stubbed medium soft and an elastic medium soft. So what would be better is if I had a standard medium soft, meaning one that's unmodified. It's just simply smoothed out by John. Well, my first was the wonderful desk pen, which I've also done a review on. And this one has, in fact, an unmodified medium soft nib. So, today I want to do the writing sample, which we're going to do shortly. You'll be able to see the difference between all three of these. And it certainly is a video that I'm making today. I haven't seen anyone compare these three different styles. Obviously, there's still so many ways you can go with these, because John will create anything you want, from an oblique to a cursive italic to a formal italic. For those who haven't seen it, I mean, I didn't do an unboxing on this because I've done it on every single one and I don't want to spend a lot of time doing that. But to give you a brief comparison, I'm not going to weigh it either, that's out there. But here's a TWSBI 580, just for a quick size comparison. And here's a Visconti Homo Sapiens bronze, the full size. So you can see the size is comparable to those, should it be something you're looking at. And lastly, and I'm going to get to the writing sample, the thing that I like the most about these Neo Standards is that it has the extra long grip section in here. They have a Nakaya that has a Nakaya I can't remember exactly how to pronounce it, but it's a shorter section in here. And because I have larger hands, and you can see my fat thumb kind of takes up most of that spot, it really gives me a great feel for it. So, okay, enough talk. Let's see exactly what this nib will do, and how well it does what it's supposed to do. And we're back. Okay, so I'm going to ink this up quickly. That I'll show you. We'll use some Noodler's Bay State Blue today. Just kidding. We're going to use Noodler's Habanero. I thought I'd use something bright and bold in this time around. It's a standard cartridge converter. You can take these apart for those who are watching just this video. In the other videos I show you how to do it. It's simple. It spins apart. Very nice. So, you want the plunger down, obviously, in up to the grip section. And when you don't go up to the grip section, it doesn't fill up. Okay. Got a good fill. Wow, is that bright? Cap the ink. And I'm going to shuffle around a little bit. Wipe the section off. I always say it, but boy, I love how easy it is to wipe the sections off on these pens. Real simple. Alright, we'll load it up. We'll get you down close, and I have a Tomo River pad set and ready to go. Okay, sorry about that. I needed to readjust the camera. Again, I wanted to get the autofocus to lock so that we could concentrate more on writing. Alright, we're going to start with the standard nib. Again, I'll try and do the same thing for all of them so you can see what the difference is. Alright. Gemini, I'll write Fountain Pen Day. I'll write it at the top just so we can get that out. This is, what ink is this? This is, Noodler's Qin Shi Yang, the red, generally a terribly feathering ink. I don't know what's in it or why, but the Tomo River seems to take it fairly well. Okay, so how does the standard medium soft Nakaya nib write? Alright, let's start. It has some flex. All good things to those who wait. Super smooth. Am I leaving the zone? Almost. Slide back a little. Alright. We'll give some of these. Everybody likes to see. Nice. Again, it's not as expressive, but it's soft, so you can get, that line in there. The little doodles. That should give you a good point of expression. Okay. Again, very smooth. It doesn't matter how you hold the pen or hold the nib against the paper. It's not going to really catch or anything like that. This one is a Stubbed medium soft, and if you it has Noodler's Liberty's Elysium in it. Now this one, it will catch if you don't hold it exactly right because it is a stub nib, but again, it's the medium soft. And we'll start right here. And right away you can see there's a lot more line variation in it because it's stubbed, because there's natural, when you stub a nib, there's natural variation within it. Oops. Just trying to look at the camera to see if I went off. Almost. This one, you can get a lot more. Again, because it's stubbed, it's got a natural, even it's got a really thin line one way, even without pressure. This is without any pressure. You can see how those lines go. And love down. Oops, railroad. And you can get a really expressive line to that. And doing a little doodle. And you can see the line from being stubbed is a little thinner, I'm sorry. And again, this is the medium soft stubbed. Yeah. One thing I'll show you real quick, I'm sorry, with the standard one, that's no pressure. If I go for these lines, these same lines here with some pressure, you can see the line variation in there. And again, that's because it's a medium soft. Finally, the elastic. Okay. Yeah, this ink is just awesome. Hopefully it's picking up on all this shading that's going on. But you can see that this is certainly a lot wetter than what was above. If you go back and watch the replay of it, you'll see that this is laying down more ink. It's not overly wet. All these were set at 7 out of 10 also for wetness, by the way. I think here also you can see where I wrote slower, that it's a lot darker, because the slower you write, the more ink it's going to lay down. Like here, if I do just normal, no pressure, but then if I give it some flex, it really will really pour on a lot of ink. And I can see from the reflection that you're able to see that. Very thin lines. I mean, almost like the stub. As you can see how the ink pools more at the end by when I pull down, it'll go straight. Sorry, narrow lines, straight lines, obviously, narrower lines. And then by pushing, you can see the more I push, the more it's pooling at the end here. And with a shading ink, that's a nice combination. And considering the customization done on this, it's also really smooth nib. I was afraid a little bit that it was going to be scratchy, but it's not at all. So, for a final shot, bear with me. I'll try and give you all three of these nibs in the same shot together. Sorry. Okay. A little more light. This proved more difficult than I thought. I'm sorry. It's taking a little bit of line them up. Okay. And here you can see 3 different medium soft Nakaya nibs. Stubbed, Elastic, Standard. Beautiful. All of them with their own properties. I like the desk pen being standard though, because whenever I write with it, I think more so, or I did at least, than I did with the rest. But I lost one of my lights. But having just that standard medium, no matter where I write or how I write, it's always really easy to write with and super smooth. And the elastic looks really, really cool. And that's it. Really wanted to just showcase these nibs and again show you that it's all the same nib. It's just set differently from regular to a stub to an elastic. And again, there's so many more combinations. Alright, I hope you all have a great fountain pen day, and I thank you for watching. Remember, November 1st this year. First Friday every November.